It's 5:30 in the morning. Your alarm goes off, and the first thought in your head is, not today. I can't do it. I'm too tired. I'm too far behind. I'm not ready. We've all been there. That moment where the bed feels safer than the world outside. Where our doubts weigh more than our dreams. Where failure feels closer than success. But right here, right now, I want you to hear me clearly. You can do it. Yes, you. The person listening right now, with the weight of the world pressing down on your shoulders. The one who thinks they're not strong enough, smart enough, or brave enough. This message is for you. Because buried inside you is more power, more strength, and more resilience than you could possibly imagine. Life is not easy. Let's just be honest about it. Bills pile up. Relationships fall apart. Dreams get delayed. Doors slam in our faces. People tell us we're not good enough. And worst of all, that voice inside our own head whispers, "Why even try? You'll never make it." That voice, it's the loudest enemy you'll ever face. Louder than critics, louder than doubters, louder than anyone who ever said you weren't capable. Because it's your own voice. But here's the truth, that voice is a liar. Every person who ever accomplished anything great heard that same voice. Every athlete who ever broke a record, every business leader who built an empire, every parent who raised children against all odds, they all fought that same whisper of doubt, and they overcame it. And so can you. Let me tell you about a boy named Daniel. Daniel grew up in a small town where no one really expected much of him. He was quiet, shy, and struggled with grades. Teachers said he wasn't applying himself. Friends made fun of him for being slow. He failed his driving test. He got cut from the basketball team. He felt like nothing he did was ever good enough. One day, after another rejection letter from a college, he sat on his bed, head in his hands, and thought, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not cut out for more. Maybe I should just accept it. But then, something shifted. His mom walked into the room, looked at him, and said 6 simple words, "Son, you can still do it." Those words lit a fire inside him. Not because everything magically became easy. No, he still struggled. He still failed. But he stopped quitting. And that was the difference. He retook his exams. He practiced basketball until his hands blistered. He applied to more schools. Eventually, he got accepted. He made the team. He kept moving forward. Daniel didn't become world famous. He didn't become a billionaire. But he became something greater. He became the version of himself that he thought was impossible. And that was enough. So here's the lesson from Daniel's story, and from countless real ones like it. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. You can't climb the entire mountain in one leap. But you can take the first step. Maybe your mountain is losing weight. Maybe it's starting that business. Maybe it's writing that book. Maybe it's finding your confidence again. Whatever it is, the first step matters. Because every single great achievement in history, every invention, every song, every company, every movement, started with someone who dared to take just one small step forward, even when they were afraid. Here's something we don't like to talk about. It's going to hurt. Growth always does. When you push your muscles in the gym, they ache before they get stronger. When you study for hours, your brain feels exhausted before it gets sharper. When you risk failure, your heart feels heavy before it feels proud. That's the process. That's the price of progress. So don't run from the pain. Don't hide from the struggle. Don't think that difficulty means you're failing. Difficulty means you're growing. It means you're in the fight. It means you're alive and moving. As the saying goes, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. I want you to ask yourself something right now. Close your eyes if you need to. Think about it deeply. What if you really could do it? What if the life you dream of is not a fantasy, but a possibility? What if the version of yourself you keep seeing in your imagination, the stronger you, the braver you, the more successful you, is not just a daydream, but a calling? What if you've been selling yourself short this whole time? Think back on your life. There was a time when you thought you couldn't make it through something. Maybe it was a heartbreak. Maybe it was a test. Maybe it was a loss. You thought, this is it. I can't go on. But guess what? You did. You're here. Right now. Listening to this. Breathing. Fighting. Living. That proves you're stronger than you think. That proves you already have what it takes. You've done hard things before, and you can do them again. There's a quote by Henry Ford that I want you to carry with you today. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Read that again. Say it out loud. Your belief becomes your reality. If you believe you're capable, you'll fight for it. If you believe you're powerless, you'll surrender before you've even tried. So which belief are you choosing today? This is just the start. This is the moment you stop saying, maybe tomorrow, and start saying, today is the day. Because the truth is, the perfect moment never comes. The stars won't align. The road won't suddenly become smooth. Life will always be messy, unpredictable, and hard. But you don't need perfect conditions. You just need courage. And you have it. It's been in you all along. So when that alarm goes off tomorrow morning, when your doubts start whispering again, I want you to remember these 4 words. You can do it. You've taken the first step. You've told yourself, I can do it. But the truth is, the moment you choose to rise, life will push back. That's how it always works. You decide to start working out. Suddenly you're too tired, too busy, or too sore. You decide to launch your dream project. Suddenly the bills show up, the distractions multiply, and critics appear out of nowhere. You decide to change your life. Suddenly old habits start pulling at you, like gravity, trying to drag you back down. That's not a coincidence. That's resistance. And resistance will test you every time you aim higher. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Winners expect resistance. They don't treat it as a sign to quit. They treat it as proof they're moving in the right direction. Let me tell you about Maya. She grew up in a tough neighborhood. Poverty in her home. Crime outside her window. Everyone told her, this is it. This is your ceiling. People like us don't make it out. But Maya had a dream. She wanted to be a nurse. She wanted to help people heal because she knew what it felt like to be broken. She applied to nursing school, failed her entrance exam. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Each failure cut deep. Each rejection letter whispered, see, they were right. You're not good enough. But Maya didn't quit. She studied harder. She worked long nights at a diner to afford tutoring. She carried flashcards on the bus, repeating medical terms between shifts. And eventually, it happened. She passed. She became a nurse. And today, she's saving lives. Imagine if she had stopped after the first failure, or the second, or the third. How many lives would have gone untouched? How many patients would have missed the one nurse who truly cared? Her story proves something powerful. Failure isn't the end. Failure is the beginning. Thomas Edison, when asked about failing thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, famously said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the mindset you need. Every mistake is feedback. Every setback is a lesson. Every fall is training for the rise. Failure is not a wall, it's a door. But maybe it's not failure that scares you. Maybe it's doubt. That voice in your head that says, you're not ready. You're not smart enough. You're not talented enough. Other people have something you don't. We all hear it. Even the most successful people you admire wrestle with that same voice. The difference is, they don't let it dictate their destiny. There's a line that hits hard. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Most people don't fail because they tried and lost. Most people fail because they never even tried. So here's the choice in front of you. Easy path or hard path. Easy choices lead to a hard life. Hard choices lead to an easy life. It's easy to quit. Easy to stay comfortable. Easy to say, tomorrow. But that road leads to regret. That road leaves you years later, staring at the ceiling, asking yourself, what if I had tried? What if I had given my all? The harder path is sweat, pain, sacrifice, discipline. But that's the path that leads to pride, fulfillment, and success. Picture a soldier in training. His lungs are burning. His legs are shaking. His body screams to stop. And just when he thinks he can't take another step, the instructor yells, one more lap, one more push. And somehow he does it. Not because his body was ready, but because his mind decided it wasn't done yet. That's life. The moment you feel like you can't go on is the exact moment you must go one step further. Because that's the moment you prove you're stronger than your pain. Your battlefield may not look like a training ground. It might be your office, your studies, your relationships, or even your own mind. But the fight is just as real, and you must keep swinging. Growth doesn't come from comfort. Growth comes from resistance. And every ounce of resistance you face is shaping you into someone stronger. So don't stop now. Don't look back. Don't let doubt decide who you'll become. Because when you keep going through the struggle, one day you'll realize resistance didn't break you, it built you. And you'll know the truth. You can do it. You wake up one morning ready to fight for your dream. But life throws you a curveball you never expected. The car breaks down. The job interview doesn't go as planned. Someone you trusted lets you down. Suddenly, the momentum you had feels crushed, and you wonder if all the effort is even worth it. This is the part of the journey nobody likes to talk about, the long middle. The place where the excitement of starting is gone, but the finish line is still far away. The middle is where most people give up, not because they're weak, but because it feels endless. Progress is slow. The results aren't showing yet. The grind feels heavier than the goal. But the middle is also where transformation happens. The middle is where champions are made. Anyone can start strong. Anyone can dream big. But the real power lies in those who endure when the motivation fades, who push forward when nobody is watching, when there are no cheers, no applause, no recognition. That's where greatness is born. Think about the marathon runner at mile 20. The crowd is behind him now. The finish line is still miles away. His body screams to stop. But he keeps moving, step by step, because he knows the only way out is through. That's you right now. Somewhere between where you started and where you want to be. You can't turn back. You can't quit. You have to keep going. There's a woman named Rachel who dreamed of writing a book. She started full of fire, coffee cups stacked, ideas flowing, words pouring onto the page. But 3 months in, the fire dimmed. Writer's block hit. Rejections came from publishers. Friends told her she was wasting her time, and she nearly quit. But Rachel decided to keep writing 1 page a day. Just one. Even when it felt useless. Even when the words looked terrible. She wrote anyway. Years later, her book was published, and it became a bestseller. She often said, "I didn't succeed because I was the best writer. I succeeded because I didn't stop writing." That's the truth. Consistency beats talent when talent refuses to be consistent. You don't need to be the smartest, the fastest, or the strongest. You need to be the one who doesn't quit. There's a quote by Muhammad Ali that captures this perfectly. "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." Think about that. Even the greatest, the legend himself, didn't love the grind. He didn't leap out of bed every morning eager to train. He hated it, but he kept going. And that made all the difference. So when the grind feels heavy, when the middle feels endless, remind yourself, this is exactly where the growth is happening. The sweat, the pain, the exhaustion, it's all building a version of you that can handle the victory when it comes. And victory will come. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but it will. Because life cannot deny someone who refuses to quit. You may not see the finish line yet, but it's there. Every step you take, no matter how small, is carrying you closer. Every early morning, every late night, every sacrifice is building momentum. And one day, you'll look back at this season and realize it wasn't punishment, it was preparation. So don't fear the middle. Embrace it. Because if you can push through here, there's nothing on the other side that can stop you. You've made it this far. Don't stop now. You are closer than you think. And when the doubt comes whispering again, remember this. You can do it. There comes a moment in every struggle when something shifts. You've been grinding, sweating, doubting, failing, getting back up again, and then suddenly you feel it. A spark, a glimpse of the future you've been fighting for. The work hasn't gotten easier, but you have gotten stronger. That's the breakthrough moment. Breakthroughs rarely look like fireworks. Most of the time, they show up quietly. It's the student who finally understands the lesson she's been struggling with for months. The athlete who shaves just a second off his time. The entrepreneur who lands her first tiny client. The single parent who sees their child smile after a tough season. It doesn't look like much from the outside, but inside, it's everything. It's proof that the effort wasn't wasted. I think of David, a man who dreamed of running a marathon but had never been athletic. When he started training, he couldn't even run a mile without stopping. People laughed at him. His own friends told him it was impossible, but he kept running. Day after day, he pushed himself a little further. At mile 1, his legs burned. At mile 3, he wanted to quit. At mile 5, he felt like collapsing, but he kept going. And 1 year later, he crossed the finish line of his first marathon. He didn't win the race. He didn't set records. But in that moment, he proved something greater. He proved to himself that he was capable of more than he ever imagined. That's what breakthroughs do. They don't just change your results, they change your identity. Suddenly, you're no longer the person who wishes or hopes. You're the person who does. You're the one who says, "Yes, I struggled. Yes, I fell. But I kept going. And look at me now." But here's the truth about breakthroughs. They demand a price. They ask you to keep showing up long after the excitement is gone. They ask you to keep moving forward long after your body screams to stop. They ask you to believe when no one else does. This is why most people never experience the breakthrough. They give up one step too soon. Imagine digging for gold. You dig and dig, but all you see is dirt. You get tired, frustrated, ready to quit. What you don't realize is that just one more strike of the shovel, just one more swing of the pickaxe, would reveal the treasure. But too many walk away before they see it. Don't walk away. You've come too far. You've invested too much. The pain you've endured wasn't wasted. It was building you, shaping you, preparing you. There's a quote that says, "The moment you're ready to quit is usually the moment right before the miracle happens." Don't give up. Hold on to that. Let it burn inside you when things get hard. Because here's the secret. The miracle isn't always outside, it's inside. The real breakthrough isn't just the business, the weight loss, the success, or the recognition. The real breakthrough is realizing that you are stronger, braver, and more resilient than you ever believed. That's the treasure. That's the victory. And when you taste it, even just for a moment, you'll know it was worth it. Every sleepless night, every tear, every failure, every ounce of doubt, it was worth it. So don't stop now. You are closer than you think. The life you want, the dream you've been chasing, the person you're meant to be, it's not a fantasy. It's waiting for you. And when that moment comes, when you feel the weight of your breakthrough, you'll finally understand the truth. You can do it. This is it, the final stretch. You've fought through doubt, endured resistance, survived the long middle, and tasted the power of breakthrough. And now, there's one thing left. The choice to live it, to step fully into the life you've been building and never look back. Because here's the truth. Nobody else can do this for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your partner, not your coach. They can support you, cheer for you, even push you at times. But the fight, the decision, the action, that's yours. It always has been. And maybe that feels heavy. Maybe you're thinking, how can I carry all of that? But look at you. Look at what you've already carried. The heartbreaks, the failures, the disappointments, the nights you thought you wouldn't make it, but somehow you did. You're still here, still breathing, still trying. That alone proves you're stronger than you know. So don't tell me you can't. Don't tell me it's impossible. Don't tell me you're not ready. You are ready. You've been ready. You just have to decide that today is the day you stop holding back. Think about it. 10 years from now, you'll look back at this very moment. Will you say, "I'm glad I tried," or "I wish I had"? Time is moving whether you take action or not. The clock doesn't wait. The world doesn't pause. Every day you hesitate is another day lost. But every day you step forward, even just a little, is another day closer to your dream. There's a powerful line from Les Brown. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. That means it's not about perfection. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about daring to aim high, daring to risk failure, daring to bet on yourself. Because even if you fall short, you'll end up further than where you started. The greatest tragedy in life is not failing, it's never trying. So today, I'm asking you to make a choice. A choice to silence the doubt. A choice to stop waiting for the perfect moment. A choice to rise, to fight, to believe in yourself even when nobody else does. Tell yourself out loud, right now, I can do it. Say it again. I can do it. Say it until it becomes the voice that drowns out the fear, the excuses, the doubt. Because you can. You always could. Deep down, you know it. That's why you're still here, listening, searching for that push, that spark, that reminder. This is it. This is your moment. Your story isn't over. In fact, it's just beginning. The chapters ahead are unwritten, and the pen is in your hands. What will you write? Will it be a story of regret or a story of courage? Will it be about someone who gave up or someone who refused to quit? Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't let fear be the author of your life. Step forward. Take the leap. Fight the fight. Build the dream. Live the life you deserve. And when it gets hard, and it will, when the world tells you no, when your own mind tries to drag you back, I want you to remember these words. You can do it. You can do it. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Today. Right now. This is your time. Go claim it.